Hey everyone, it's me, Doomlink, and welcome back to Doomlink's Life Hunts. I'm finally ready to go. This was one of those setups where I felt like I just was ready to go and then I had something else to do, and then I'm ready to go, but there's something else that I haven't done, and I realized that the Nintendo Switch kind of sucks as a console and all that, and you know, it's an important realization to come to, but I've talked about that before. You know, as a stationary console, the Switch is a fucking terrible console. Absolutely terrible. But you can't look at it as a stationary console, that's the point. It's a portable console that you can dock. I've talked about this many times before, so I'm going to get off that subject. Hello, Takashi. But yeah, I don't know how visible it's going to be. It was... well, okay, let me explain this in a clear and sensible way. I haven't recorded for about, well, let's say 5 days, about 5 to 6 days I haven't recorded, and I smashed my chin. It looked like, you know, someone had taken a fucking... I'd grazed it, basically. I shouldn't say smash, that sort of gives the wrong impression. It sort of looked like someone had taken a power sander to my chin, and it's looking a lot better now. You may not have noticed it all that much had I not mentioned it, but, you know, in case anyone's curious as to what this, you know, affliction on my face is, that's what it is. And, I would say by this time next week it will be entirely gone. But yeah, that was the main reason why I didn't record for 5 days, is because my face looked fucked. So, given that it's slightly less fucked now, I thought I may as well record. Now, I don't know what we're going to be doing here. I haven't played in my own time during the last 5 days. In this game, that is to say. I don't know if I've got TV volume. Oh, I think I do have TV sound. Well, sound volume, gain, doesn't matter what you say. It might just be super low. I don't know. Hello, Exio. Have we actually played before, Exio? Or have you only ever watched me in chat? Because you're always talking about you playing the game, but I don't think we've actually played together. I believe the basis for that was you not being in G rank. Or at the very least not having good loadouts to play with me using. But you don't particularly need to have me added, Exio. There are plenty of people who play with me who don't have me added. But anyway, I might try to raise the volume of the game. Yes, that was the problem. I'd failed to realise that I'd actually lowered the volume to 0. I hear that that's often, or rather, lowering the volume to 0 does oftentimes result in a game that does not produce sound. I'm just taking the life of a very small spider that had decided to attach itself to my boom stand. Hello, Autonomic. Excuse the chair. It's a very expensive chair, although you might not think so, or you might not imagine so. I've got rum in my whiskey glass, which is just, it's all kinds of wrong, but I'll probably continue drinking rum out of this whiskey glass. I ended up getting rum this week because my usual whiskey and my usual gin were nowhere to be found, so... rum it is. Alright. I suppose I'll just join a random room in progress. Zero cool. I suppose I could interpret that as him saying that he's not at all cool. Like, there's zero cool factor here. Your hope. Okay. Ronio. Oh. Oh. Okay. You're hunting Rajang. What fun. Got Bloodbath Diablo, which is nice. Any with Kubas. Let's see if I've been fast enough to get into the room. I think I have been. I do believe that I have been. You're currently doing Shaguru Magala, so you're in one of those rooms where they don't actually update the room information, or... Oh, come on, guys. You're gonna depart with 2. Why? Oh, it's high rank, that's why. Well, that's understandable. I can appreciate that. Deviant turns? No. Hyper hunting? Sure. Beasts of Brawn. Doesn't that involve Raja in some way? I think so. Don't know why, but I seem to recall that quest name from 4 Ultimate. Anyway. Nax. Nice name. Oh, fuck this quest. Come on, man. Give over. Think I've got time for that crap? It's not even G rank. Ugh. It's a very nice name for a room. I mean, it would be an appropriate reaction to having to do a Deviant quest, but it's a bit, how do I say, eccentric. Turns. With Lolly Boy. Lolly Boy. Not like L-O-L-I, but L-O-L-Y. Okay, and Beanbag. Okay, we've got Lolly Boy and Beanbag. I have to join this room, don't I? It's quite often that if you find one weird name, there's another one. It's never just one weird name, they attract one another, you see. Oh, thank God, it's G rank. I was genuinely Beanbag has departed. Well, not departed on the quest. Usually you say departed to refer to going on a quest. I mean departed as in he's left the bloody room. Anyway, yeah, I'm glad that it's actually a fucking G-rank quest. I feel as if I've just found a diamond in the rough or something. Alright. Dragon's Howl, thank you. Grenade on a stick. Thanks, Nibble Snuff. Again, I've never really understood the association between military weaponry... what's going on, guys? I've never understood the association between military weaponry and Nibble Snuff, but that's the theme that all of his stuff has. You know, the hammer is a big grenade, this thing's a grenade on a stick, effectively a rocket-propelled grenade, visually speaking. The charge blade's a riot shield, I don't know what the greatsword's supposed to be, I suppose it's just a greatsword, yeah. Big weapon. The dual blades, I seem to recall, I don't know what they're supposed to look like. All I can say is that they look more like blunt bashing weapons. And don't know if there is a sword and shield, I can't seem to think of a sword and shield. Of course, the heavy bowgun looks like an actual sniper rifle, which is nice. But even more so than the Raytheon heavy bowgun, interestingly enough. I don't know what's happening in this room. These guys are rather unresponsive. Clearly not ready to get in there and hunt as soon as possible. Maybe Lolly Boy and Ryudor are friends. I don't know. I don't understand why Beanbag left. I would have understood Beanbag leaving if the pair of them were doing nothing for a while, but a quest had been posted, so it seemed like progress was being made. I guess Beanbag didn't like the quest or something. He's like, no, I'm not doing that quest. Which is fair, everyone reserves the right to choose or decide against doing whatever quest they want. And I certainly exercise that right regularly. These two are taking the piss, I swear to God. Like, where are they even? My guess is that they are friends and they're communicating elsewhere. I seem to recall many hunts that I've done with a friend where we're just having a chat and there are two people sitting in the room waiting for us to do something. I seem to recall that. Not having a chat about things unrelated to Monster Hunter, rather we would be discussing, you know, setting up an armor set, or, you know, working out what monster we should hunt next. Meanwhile, there are two people just sort of pacing in the room, waiting for us to do something, so... Yeah, I understand, but it's fucking annoying to be on the receiving end of that sort of activity. Ryudo. Well, to be honest, I would have actually preferred, in terms of playing the game, in terms of the experience of hunting, I would have preferred the non-Hyper Agnoctor. Nursilla and Gravios, I don't like either of those monsters. Some people are big Nursilla fans. I couldn't give a damn about that monster. I really... If I never hunted a Nursilla ever again, I would be quite content. I wouldn't care. I don't know what to bring. I'm tempted to... No, I won't go normal. Heavy poker. Could use some sort of raw bow. Do I have a... No, I think my only raw bow is... Pierce. Which is fine, I guess. It's just, I don't want to pierce Nursilla. It doesn't feel right. I mean, you know what? It could be perfectly fine. I've in fact decided that it is perfectly fine. I'm not worried about whether or not it is, because, in actual fact, I will be using it regardless. Of course, the name of the quest no doubt relates in some way to the comment from the client, which I will not be reading. Sorry to leave you wanting, if you wanted to know. The context behind the quest that is being given to us. Hello, there's Exchanger. Shall I? No, I won't risk it. Oh, someone's already used a gourmet voucher. Good to know. If someone's used a voucher, you are still able to use a gourmet voucher. That is worth noting. So, because I wasn't able to use a gourmet, it means someone redeemed a gourmet voucher, basically. As per usual, I will not be bringing exhaust coatings. I see no reason to do that. Well, there is a reason, technically, but I don't find exhaust coatings to be so terribly useful that they're worth bringing. I really just don't have the desire to even allocate thought to putting them in my inventory. Very occasionally, and I suppose probably the last 2 times I've used this bow, I've mentioned the fact that I'm not bringing exhaust coatings, but usually it doesn't even cross my mind. So, there you go. Point is, this bow can only shoot exhaust coatings. It does all its damage on its own, long story short. It's doing that long roar. I have fought enough Gravios. You know, this is one of those monsters where I really don't need him to come back. In the last of the 4th gen games, I'm really not in need of further Gravios hunts. I suppose he wasn't in 3rd gen, but still, he was in 4 Ultimate, that's enough. That really is enough. I just don't find him to be that great of a monster. He's just annoying. He's good in the sense that he often brings people to use ranged weaponry. But outside of that, I really am not a fan. After Tactical Retreat, that would be an example of the game not accepting my button input. That is a problem with Hunter Art. Sometimes you'll press the buttons to do the Hunter Art and the game's like, nope, you did not press those buttons, I don't care what you have to say about that. So I'm dead as a result. Because, you know, if I didn't have Tactical Retreat in that moment, I would have sheathed the weapon and dived. But I did have tactical retreat, so here I am, big idiot, actually trying to use the damn hunter art, but no. That would be too much to ask for, wouldn't it? Hello, spaceman. What a joke. Oh well. I'm not too impressed with the one-shot business. What's my defense? It's not that great. I've got good fire res, but the defense is not looking good with this set. I think it must have high booster feather, huh? Can you fucking... Alright. Again, pressing the wrong buttons to make my selections. For reasons that I have previously explained and would rather not reiterate at this time. Alright. Mega Dash Juice, thank you very much. I will rely on tactical retreat again in the future. I'm just a bit miffed about that situation previously. It doesn't happen all the time that I'll die as a result of a hunter art not actually responding to my button press. But still. That's pretty annoying. I won't do triple volley for now. Here we go. You actually gonna fucking work? No, you're not. You're actually not going to work. I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now. I cannot believe it. Twice in a row, I press the fucking... It's this button and that fucking button. And the game's like, no, you're not actually doing that. Sorry. I can't fucking believe what I'm seeing. What a joke. I didn't even know that a person had died besides me. Apparently that had happened. What a fucking joke, seriously. Yeah, I mean, I should be a lot more careful about when I do that. They probably think I'm a complete fucking idiot. And they're welcome to think that. I don't really care. But, yeah, I'm probably not going to stick around in this room. Ryudor is like, fuck that. So I suppose I'll go and look for a different room myself. Are you ready to play, Exio? That was a fucking pathetic hunt, wasn't it? I'm not personally ashamed by the outcome for the reason that it had absolutely nothing to do with my ability or inability. It had everything to do with the fact that the game is a complete mess when it comes to the input detection for hunter art usage. You're in... well... Are you going to play or are you not, Exio, is the question. I don't mind if you're not going to, but I'd like to know, for the reason that I would have to make a room to accommodate you and Autonomic at the same time. So just let me know. If the answer is no, then that's cool. I don't know what's happening with you, that's all. You are welcome to bring what you describe as a homie. But, yeah. This non-committal phrasing that you're using doesn't really work in conjunction with my situation, you'll have to understand. If I do, I might bring another anyway. Just let me know. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I don't know. But, whatever. Turns with I don't know if that was a good attempt at pronouncing his name. He would likely do it better than I would. But I think sitting in this room is going to do me a whole lot more than trying to make my own room and then Exio hunting and then not hunting or whatever, I don't know. It's weird being back on the rum. Rum is too sweet for me, I have to tell you. I'm sure some rum isn't as sweet, but... well, I'm drinking Captain Morgan Spiced Gold because that's what I can get in a litre bottle for a reasonable price. But, yeah, Rum generally is not my go-to spirit. The same is the case for bourbon, of course. Bourbon is not. What? That is America's spirit for a good reason. Very good reason. It's not for me. I don't mind a really smooth bourbon, I suppose, but generally not. Generally not. So, Zguz is posting first, unsurprisingly. He wants to do Teostra very well. As you do. As you do. What would I like to use? Almost feeling like Greatsword, but not. Have you ever really felt like you might want to use a specific weapon type with a specific monster, and then you realize, but I don't really want to use that? It's quite a vexatious circumstance. You're sitting there not knowing what to do. Do I use it or do I not? I'm gonna go Gunlance. About Dragon Gunlance, World's Demise. There you go. I don't think I've used this setup with a Teostra before. Gunlance on Teostra in general is weird. I suppose this would be one of those monsters where I just wouldn't use a Gunlance for the reason that I want high mobility to chase after him because he's always running around. I suppose that would be the reason why I don't usually use Gunlance. I'm probably going to find out very quickly why I usually don't use Gunlance. But it's good to add that experience to my repertoire. But yeah, I can make use of anecdotal justification to say to myself, this would probably not take place verbally. I'd be able to say to myself, well, I do recall really having a bad time with Gunlance against Teostra somewhat recently, so I will not use that weapon type. The point is that such anecdotal justification fades away with time when you actually forget the circumstance, you forget the scenario that you're supposed to recall, and then you go, oh, I haven't used this weapon type for a while with this monster, and then you work out why. You work out why. You know, the experience of using a Gunlance against a Teostra I don't think is going to be so terribly traumatizing that in 2 years I'm going to remember hunting him right here with a Gunlance. That's what I have to say to that. I need to top up my drinks after this hunt. Hopefully I can remember that. I'm not as religious when it comes to topping up my drinks in this game for the reason that I don't often find myself at the shop. It's because it's all the way off to the left side. It's not that close to the box. It's not like 4 Ultimate where it's on the way to the box. It's not like 3 Ultimate where it's... actually no, 3 Ultimate is quite far away from everything else as well. I don't know, maybe 3 Ultimate is different in some way that I can't possibly describe. Maybe I'm just weird. How about that? Well, that's fine, Exia. I knew I was going to take a heavy hit there. Yeah, I mean, if you really want to do a lot of high rank stuff, then yeah, it would be better not to join. I mean, the point is, Axio, that if you were to join, you wouldn't be doing only your own quests anyway. We would be taking turns with Autonomic and possibly another person joining the room. Point being that you'd probably be able to, you know, with the limited quest selections you could make for yourself, just choose G-rank quests. But if you really need high rank stuff, then yeah, maybe don't. It's over to you in the end. Again, I don't require your presence, I just need to know. It struck me that we hadn't played before, so I brought it up. Oh dear. I've been trying to play World at War with Potato, which has proven to be one of the most difficult things in my life. It's easier to get Ethan playing World at War. Dragging that guy off Rocket League is like separating candy from a baby. So, you know, it's not that easy. That was a really good shot. That heavy shot was right on target with me. That was pretty funny. That's Doomlink shelling with a gun lance, which is a rare sight. I generally don't bother, that's the point. If I shell, it's usually Wyvern Fire and Heavy Shot. Regrettably, I'm going to apologise for that, sorry about that. Yeah, regrettably I hit ZGW with that shot. You know, the problem that I have with names of this sort, and people are welcome to have weird names, I don't care, but if it's a name that I can't easily refer to someone by, it's gonna annoy me. Like, there's no easy way for me to refer to this guy. ZGW is an awkward way to refer to a person because it's not in any way intimate. It's just, it's a series of letters that doesn't really describe a person or communicate any sort of personality. So I hate that as a name. But I can't very well refer to him in any other way without sounding like I've got some sort of severe mental deficiency. Like Zugwaz. Zugwaz, there you go, that's how you say it, Zugwaz. Took me a while to actually work out how to pronounce that. It's Zugwaz. But of course I say that in jest, but the point is that, you know, people are welcome to have weird names. It's just, some names are just so bad that I don't even want to refer to them by said name. I'd like to roll to be rid of this blast. Oh, come on. See, that's the annoying thing about TO3. You can oftentimes just barely find yourself. There is nothing more fucking frustrating, ZGW, than trying to shield a possible monster attack and instead having all of my stamina destroyed by some absolute putz swinging his dual blades around. Alright. I mean, that is truly the ultimate in frustrating team experiences. I haven't been doing much in the way of Wyvern Fire, have I? That is a terrible time to sharpen Doomlink, don't do it. Get in there and attack. Oh no. Can you leave me the fuck alone? I just want to sharpen, that's all I ask. What? I think I started purple, don't I? Yes, I do. Well, look who's limping. Bastard creature. You know, there's nothing wrong with drinking rum out of a nosing glass like this, because in the end it is aromatic. That really is the purpose of a nosing glass. Wait. Yeah, that is the direction we want to go. But yeah. I usually just drink rum in a... I'm sure there are lots of different glasses that I could use. I have a crystal tumbler that I usually drink rum out of. But the problem with that is that it's quite a large glass. I usually end up pouring what looks like a small portion, but is actually a very large portion. And because sweet beverages, you tend to drink more of a sweet beverage. Like, even, it doesn't matter what the alcohol content is, you will drink more of it because we naturally want to drink more of something sweet. You know, when you drink a spirit, it is ideal to savor it and just sip it, more or less. And because it's a very strong beverage, it's naturally satisfying to drink a limited amount. But with a very sweet beverage, even if it's a spirit, you do drink more of it, so... You know, when I drink out of that crystal tumbler and I've got a bottle of rum, I drink too much. Like, I actually genuinely have consumed too much. Not at the expense of my, I guess, mental state, but rather I'm more concerned for my health. Because I don't want to be drinking too much. Nice work with the large old dragon gem, Autonomic. It's good to hear. This thing that I downloaded to be able to use the PS3 controller, DualShock 3, on my PC as an Xbox 360 controller, is honestly annoying. It always comes up with these... It has an auto-update thing that always has this pop-up that's like, no updates available. It's like, if there are no updates available, then leave me the fuck alone, I don't care. If there are updates available, let me know. If there aren't, then I couldn't give a flying fuck, my friend. Second of all, I have to keep muting it in the Windows sound thing. What is it called again? It's... volume mixer, where you have all applications and their volume sliders. I always have to mute that because it makes this terrible fucking sound when you plug something in. Like when it recognizes that you've plugged in that PS3 controller, it makes this sound. It's like that, but really fucking... I swear to God, it's a guy doing that into a microphone. He's like... But like super loud, it's really fucking crisp and it's right in your ears and it's max volume. And it is an absolute nightmare to listen to. Skip, thank you. Like, you're just minding your own business and then this fucking sound just blasts into your eardrums, and it's quite frankly, it's offensive, so... Yeah, I always have to mute that. I don't understand why people do that. You know, they add loud noises to things. Don't do that. It's as if people design things without imagining the user experience. I mean, how could you possibly do that? How could you possibly design something without thinking, if I'm using this, would I like this? It's like that thought doesn't even cross their mind. I mean, that is step one. It's like a terrible website design. You sometimes get website updates that are so fucking unintuitive that you have to wonder, did this person actually consider what it would be like to use this as an end user? Like, as a person just trying to browse this website? Clearly not, because had they done so, they wouldn't have designed it so poorly. I mean, I feel like that's YouTube most of the time. In fact, just today, YouTube's broken again. If I am on my channel page and well, I don't even want to explain it, but basically it's glitched, which is normal for YouTube to glitch in some way or another. There's always, you know, they'll fix one glitch and then there's 3 more that appear, and then they'll fix the 3 and then 6 will appear. You know, that's the point. It's just, YouTube is eternally broken, and, you know, half of the YouTube user base don't know, and the other half think that the only thing wrong with YouTube has to do with, you know, advertisers and the way in which they pander to advertise. This guy's going the whole way. He's just posted a turns room, done his quest, and he's out. I am guilty of having done that in the past, and quite frankly, I think it works. This is my theory. What you would do is rotate through people like that, because the point is that we have a room of 3 right now. It's not going to take long at all for a 4th person to join a turns room. So, you know, and then I could, for example, do my quest and then leave, and then, you know, it could rotate through people like that. That would actually be a really good way to do quests. Particularly for the person who creates the room, because they are able to do their quest immediately and then not be forced to do other people's quests anyway. What would I like to use for this quest? I think it will be the typical heavy Piers. Come to think of it, I need to check my trader. I've got lots of honey, and I was talking about multiplying nullberries last time, so I think I shall do so. Request a trade. I'll have to find cats that are slightly more enthusiastic than this one. This cat is not enthusiastic about farming, and quite frankly that's not good enough. You need to be absolutely ready to go. You must pursue your farming endeavours with the utmost alacrity. Alright. And that should do me. I'm not using the gratuity because I'm not so desperately in need of nullberries that I would use a gratuity. I think gratuity should only really be used if you want to get a lot after 1 quest completed or 2 quests completed. But if you're probably not going to check the trader until you've done all rounds and you're not really in need of the item desperately, don't bother with gratuity. It's not... Well, I mean, if you've got a lot of it, which I don't, then I suppose you can do it, but I generally don't. Okay. You know what I'm looking for. That much is obvious. And if I can't find it, life goes on. Defense up large and defender high. That's the way we're going to do this. Axe Hunter has joined the room, which is very, very good. Ignore what I just said. This man has chosen to join this quest naked. Of course not actually naked, but for some reason this is his idea of transmog. I don't know why a person would willingly dress in this way. Why he feels the need to have that Breath of the Wild thing. I mean, he's a naked Link from Breath of the Wild. In other words, not actually Link, but the pseudo-Link, the fake one that everyone is treating as Link these days. It's been a little while since I've said this, so I'll say it again. I find it deeply sickening that Link is being depicted without his traditional green outfit these days. It's actually fucking gross. I can't stand it. It's as if, you know, it's like I'm living in a fucking dystopian future. It really does feel that way. And no one seems to realize it. It's like, oh yeah, Link's this guy with a blue tunic, and he doesn't have a hat. Yeah. No. He's looked the same way since 1985, you fuckers. Stop changing it. Oh yeah, we're gonna change it. No. There's no reason to. What if we suddenly change the way Mario looked? I mean, yes, Mario has taken different appearances, but he has always been depicted in the same way. Why would you change Link? Don't do that. Fucking Nintendo. And fucking people for eating it up. Goddamn gaming community. Alright, end of rant. I've said that many, many times before, but it's been a while. I did have a full Link transmog, like traditional Link. That was for my Sword and Shield set, but I changed the set. There is a long explanation as to why I didn't retain the Link transmog. I've explained it before, but it's been a long time since I've explained that. You'd never be able to find the video in which I explained it. But, yeah. Let me just say that I would have continued using it if it were easy to do so, or comfortable to do so. Please move yourself. I'm sorry, I'm going to not line up with you. Alana being hit in that moment is purely on account of my poor play. I will readily admit that. You know, it's kind of warm today. I'll have to take off my jacket. I'll do it after this one. Oh yeah, that's right, I'm supposed to buy drinks. I was reminded because I mentioned for the second time now doing something after a hunt, so I was thinking to myself, hopefully I remember to do that. I will remember to do it because I am physically, you know, hot right now, but... as far as the drinks, yeah, I did forget to do that. I'm a bit worried about that. No, fuck. That attack there is truly terrible. The area of effect of that particular attack, like the triple fireball, just awful. Just using regular potions here. It's slower, but... yeah. I think after Pierce level 3, I'll move on to Thunder level 2. I do have that as internal ammo here. I mean, what the fuck would you have me do, really? What kind of fucking combo is that? Well, it's not really a combo in the sense that I was hit once and then hit twice, but... you know, what a terrible attack to do so close to me like that. Because when I'm that close to the monster, I can't see if she's going to swing her tail to the left or to the right. I've got no bloody idea. I can only hope that I don't make the wrong decision, and I made the wrong decision. But fortunately, I have enough defense where I was able to take the hit and not die from the poison, which is the main problem with being hit by the tail of this monster. It is the fact that if it does deal so much damage that you can't heal yourself before poison kills you, then it is the ultimate two-pronged attack. You're flying off. You know what? I need to take this off. She's taken off, and so am I. Oh, goodness me. It is going to be getting warmer. Oh, good enough. Yeah, it is going to be getting warmer where I am, so... one of the main reasons also why I try to wear a jacket is to actually cover my arms. The reason why is because that's only when I don't have much natural light. What ends up happening is that my arms start to fade out of existence because of the chroma key. It's fine now because I don't have a really strict chroma key setting. You can see my hands, they're not, you know, looking really weird. That's because my chroma key, which is my green screen, is not on a really strict setting. It's because I've got some natural light to work with. But at night time, you know, my whole arms would be disappearing. Like, my whole arms. Both of my arms would be disappearing right now, so, you know, if I'm wearing a jacket, that's not an issue, because my arms would be covered, and, you know, so that would be fine, but anyway, I'll work that out when it happens. I can wear arm socks. Imagine that. That'd be good. I'm not opposed to that, but I'd need to dress appropriately for that. Arm socks with like a t-shirt is not really encouraged. Damn it. If I ever seem to shoot repeatedly off target without adjusting, it's because I'm trying to adjust, but the game is not recognizing that I'm making said adjustment and instead just has me shoot instead of adjusting first. It's annoying. It happens. Alright, I'll try to aim for the wings here. Aiming for the head also works perfectly fine. In fact, I think hitting the head is better than hitting the wings for the elemental weakness, but the head will be harder to hit, that's the point. I don't know if gunpowder infusion is really worthwhile for an elemental shot, but whatever. Are you kidding me? The way she positioned herself there was truly terrible. Truly terrible. Whether or not Thunder level 2 is doing more damage to her right now than Pierce level 2, I couldn't say. I really have got no idea. It's just a guess that I'd be doing more damage here. Oh, fuck. But yeah, I'd say... I mean, Thunder level 2 is really good to... Oh, here we go, I'm dead. There's nothing I can do. That's what I was talking about. If you take enough damage... And I don't quite understand why I took more damage this time than last time. It's the exact same attack, and yet I took more damage this time. Considerably more. I had nothing that I could do in that moment. Autonomic's about to die. Fucking hell, man. It is a truly terrible attack, because if she's so close to you that you can't even really evade it, then that's what happens. There's not much to be done. Yeah, hyperlaggy is pretty bad. Not much fun. Autonomic has succeeded in surviving with almost no health for at least 10 seconds, more than 10 seconds, more like 15 seconds. The guy had no health, basically. So, that's great. Alana has been left in the area alone with the monster, which is not good. And look who was chasing after us. Raytheon was literally trying to chase after Autonomic there. Alright. Yeah, super annoying. I can't believe that twice I was put in the same situation where I was super close to the monster while she was swinging it. See that attack? I hate that crap. Good timing for a supernova. We'll support Alana here. Uh-oh. There you go. I knew that was coming. That is terrible. I mean, there was a nasty combination of things there. Alana was just trying to run away, and Raytheon intercepted Alana perfectly there. I mean, that was a perfect intercept. Alana didn't even work out what was happening until the tail had already swung into her face, basically. Frustrating as that is. I hate this monster. I absolutely hate Hyper Gold Raytheon and Hyper Silver Applos. They are miserable monsters. They are totally... Yeah, they are completely and utterly just wastes of time. They are monsters that are not worth fighting. I'm so sick of fighting them, because you have to understand that they are in high demand. I have fought all of the Hyper Silver and Golds that I personally need to hunt. I have also done the same for at least 2 other people. On top of that, I've done the quest for every person who's happened to post it. I'm so fucking sick of it. I hate those monsters. I hate them with a passion. You know, I've done my time with those monsters. I have fought them enough at this point. That is the one of the major negatives of playing this game. It is the fact that you're basically forced to fight those fucking monsters. Even if you're done with them. Oh, other people won't be. Of course not. So you're stuck fighting them. And it's fucking annoying. I'm sick of them. I'm terribly sick of them. I'd rather fight a high rank deviant, quite frankly. Okay. Well, the thing is, I don't even really want to equip something different to this. That's what's incredibly fucking frustrating. This is really the set that I'm able to consistently succeed in the most when it comes to this monster. Or succeed with when it comes to this monster, but... Oh my fucking god, man. And everyone knows when it's on the board. I mean, that's why that last guy left. He was like, I'm not doing this quest. The reality is that if you don't personally need it, why the fuck would you want to do it? No one wants to. But I've put myself in a situation where I've done it time and time again without needing it. Oh, come on. There's nothing more annoying than the chef being fired up and you're still not getting what you need. Anyway. I don't know how many Gold Raytheon and Silver Rathalos I've fought, but I'd guarantee the vast majority of them have been the hyper ones, and I'm sick of it. So Gold Raytheon 54, I would say, you know, 40 to 45 of them have been hyper. Silver Rathalos 67. So I've fucking fought enough of them. This is the last time. For a while. So you better fucking enjoy it. At least everyone's willing to do it. At least we didn't have to wait for more people to join. That's always nice. Most likely because they need it themselves. I mean, maybe not Axe Hunter, but anyway. See, that's such a bad translation. They're trying to have him speak all, you know, eloquently and articulately, and they say, I was inclined to discover whether there was any truth to it. I mean, as if the word ascertain doesn't exist. I was inclined to discover whether or not. It's like, hello? The translation team for this game really was pretty fucking bad. It was one of the first things that I heard about this game. Before it even released, I mean, one of the first things that I heard was the translation team for this game is pretty bad. And I would say that's about right. I would say that's about right. Thank you for shooting me there. I mean, in the end, it reset my animation, so that's always nice. Apparently, Alana has been farted on. I would like to express my condolences. You fucking Axe Hunter! I don't want to 3-man this quest. I have absolutely no... I had zero desire to 4-man it. You think I want to 3-man it? He hasn't contributed anything. It's not like he got through half the hunt then disconnected. He disconnected from the fucking beginning. We're 3-manning this thing. If Alana dies, or if anyone dies within the next 60 seconds, I'm out. Not doing it. Just putting that on the record. What a fucking shit show. As if I want to do this. 3-man this monster? You've got to be joking. Three-man, a Hyper Gold Raytheon. Yeah. Awesome. One of the things that I also hate about this monster is that I, you know, always use the same armor set to fight it. For good reason, but seriously. You also end up spending most of your time fucking evading instead of shooting. It's dangerous to do gunpowder infusion here, but well, fortunately something was broken on her. this Conga could fuck off, that'd be great. I'd be exceptionally appreciative of that. Look at this crap. I mean, that's why the hunt takes so fucking long. It's because you're not even shooting the monster, you're fucking evading the whole damn time. She won't stop moving. Bloody cunt. What a snooze, what a bore. And then she leaves. Unbelievable. Alright. I'm assuming she went to there. Unbelievable. I'll just stick with Pierce for now. What I'll probably do is I'll do Pierce level 2 and then Thunder level 2 after Pierce level 2. That sounds more appropriate. Seriously. Of course, she wouldn't go running off in that direction. That's why I rolled in that direction. I was pre-rolling. I was rolling with the expectation that she'd go running in that direction, but she didn't, so I had to go and reposition. I did buy drinks in the end, didn't I? Not that I need them now, it's just... I'm pretty sure that I bought some. I remember being in the shop, I don't remember buying the drinks, but I would have. Alright. Oh. She got knocked down, which is fortunate. Quite fortunate. I don't know if she was changing targets there or what. It almost seemed like she was, but I don't think so. I think she was focused on autonomic the whole time there. I can shoot outside of critical distance like this precisely because of shot booster. It doesn't work if I'm too close. Getting a bit sick of the Congas appearing as well. I've never really noticed that Congas appeared in this quest. I mean, the whole idea obviously is that you're having to contend with a gold Raytheon and then, you know, some monkey farts in your face and then you can't even heal. But I've never experienced that. I've never fought this monster and felt that I've had to deal with stench. So, yeah, fortunately Congas don't often fart on you. I mean, they will often attempt it, no doubt, but I don't think they will often succeed. You can see that even with Evade Extender, I can only barely escape whatever she's doing at any given time. Without Evade Extender, you may as well go home. And that's of course referring to heavy bowgun. If your light bowgun is different, because you can sheath it quickly and start running, you're just moving faster in general, so yeah, it's a bit different with light bowgun. Fuck. Sideways. I meant to reload then use gunpowder infusion. I understand that you want attention, but I'm really not feeling like giving you any. That attack is also fucking awful, by the way. Crazy range on that fire bite attack. Oh yeah, that's right, I'm using thunder now. I was hoping to get on that ledge there, or jump off that ledge. So essentially the opposite meaning to what I was going for. I'll save Supernova for when it is appropriate. I'll use Gunpowder Infusion now, given that I have the opportunity to do so. No! Fortunately, she went to the right side. What is for me the right, and what is for her the left? Yeah, she doesn't give you much fucking time to react. You have to basically be ready to go. You have to be ready to evade her. Otherwise you're fucked. That's the moral of the story. And back to here. If we can take her out in this area, that'd be great. I'd be pretty happy with that. Seriously, just leave the area, Autonomic. Leave the area. If you die in there, holy fucking shit, man. I'm going to be so livid. But yeah, remember when I talked about that attack being nasty? That's what I'm fucking talking about. She just she without warning will do that fire bite. The range is crazy, the damage is crazy. And if you're a gunner like Alana and myself, you just fucking die. That's it. So it's terrible. It's absolutely fucking terrible. We're almost back. Don't think either of us have healed up. Alana, if you don't have a max potion... We died at the same time and she's in the area ahead of me, which means that she did not consume a max potion. What the fuck, girl? Oh, believe me, Exio. Believe me, I would not volunteer. I would not volunteer to do one. Hyper monsters are fine for the most part, but certain ones are just fucking stupid. This would be one of them. Seriously a waste of time. Now let's hope she doesn't do anything weird. Please don't fucking do that attack. We almost had a repeat. I mean, really, Alana nearly took that head on. I saw that. It was bloody close. Too fucking close. Ugh. Fucking hell. I'm terribly sick of fighting these monsters. It's been fucking 3 years of it now. Pink monkey. Oh, actually getting consistent flinches on him. Does that mean I have a feline skill for it? No, he's somehow being flinched every time I kick him. I can't believe it. I wouldn't be able to kick him to death. He's probably got like 32 health or something like that. Well, if I kicked him 32 times, but... yeah. Fucking Conga. He could have even more health than that, I don't know. I got the mantle. I'm not the one who wants the mantle here. I don't need one, that's my 9th. I really don't need one. If I could give it, you know, if I could possibly give my reward, if it were some MMO where I could give my rewards to someone else, I'd love to do that, but I cannot, so there you go. I don't think it would be nice to be able to do that. I think it's good that they don't let you do that, to be honest, but in situations such as these, I would love to just give it to someone else, because I don't need it. Well, at least you got what you needed. Gabrielle has joined the room. Player 4. P4. But yeah, I mean, I'm basically hosting this turn's room now. Well, I am actually hosting, not basically, but I am in fact the de facto host of the room. So I am the one coordinating things around here. Oh look, the HR minimum is 100, I didn't know, but that's fine. I mean, it's not going to make a huge difference. There can be people at Hunter rank 103 or whatever that are just as inept as someone who's Hunter rank 63, but anyway. In other words, a limit of 100 is not very impressive. If you were to limit it to 300 and above, yeah, sure, but... oh, are you kidding me? You have done 2 people's quests just to post Adalkar. I really do think some people don't quite understand that for certain monsters you do not have to do turns rooms. This would be one of those monsters. You do not need to sit in a turns room and do other people's quests just to post Adalkar. This is a monster where if you create a room for him, you will have a full room in less than 5 minutes. So if it's a matter of time spent, I think 5 minutes to get a full room versus, you know, 15 minutes or in some cases 25 minutes or more to do, you know, as many as 3 other people's quests before doing your own. I think making a fucking room would be more time efficient. It's not complicated. It's really not. What I'm particularly frustrated by at the moment is that I feel obligated to do this person's quest, and yet I have no desire to hunt this monster. No desire, because I am sick of it. I have done Adalkar enough. Seriously. Let's bring Hunting Horn. Something a little different. Seriously, I go from Hyper Gold Raytheon to Adalkar. I just got done drinking a pint of piss, now I get to go and shovel shit into my mouth. It's great. What a day. Unbelievable. Okay. Looking for the usual. Like, really, fuck me up my ass. I feel like I'm being bent onto my knees and sodomized by this room. That's what it fucking feels like. It's a fucking nightmare. Alright. Off we go. I must have used a hunting horn on Adalkar at least once before, but I don't remember doing it. So at least that will be different. Something a little outside of the norm. Alana wants to... obviously, Alana needs iridescent carapace, which is fine. Quite welcome to need that. I was in the same position in the past. Point is, you know, I've moved on since then. I don't need this fucking monster anymore. And I've fought him enough. Alright. My hope is that in giving the team attack up large and attack boost bonus, we'll be getting through this faster. This is good timing to play the song. Although it would have been better if I had played it before he was knocked down, most certainly. It is truly ironic that the person who wants the back broken isn't even aiming for it. Truly ironic. I'm going to be watching you, Alana. If you don't attack that thing enough, I'm not going to attack it at all. Quite frankly. Okay, you're aiming for it now, just as well. May as well play defense up. I ended up playing attack up accidentally. It was a complete accident. Gabrielle's got stop hammer time, apparently, as a shout, auto shout. And Alana has a shout which is Sharknado was the best. Seriously. I will tell you one thing though. I had a period in time, or a period, well, okay. I used to, back when video rental stores existed, I used to go into the low-budget movie section and rent low-budget movies because I found them to be really, really funny. We're talking really, really bad movies. And I never watched Sharknado because everyone was obsessed with it. I was like, oh, Sharknado, have you seen Sharknado? It's so bad. Whenever there's a huge outpouring of attention for something like that, I switch off. I'm like, don't care, don't talk to me about it. But I did watch a movie that related to a shark that was really bad. It was called Jurassic Shark. Low budget, terrible movie. And it was very, very funny. It was hilarious. The acting, I mean, the best part about it is the acting is always terrible. The CGI is always terrible with these sorts of movies, and it is very funny to watch. So, you know, if you're the sort of person who has my sense of humor, where you can watch something that's really terribly done and laugh at it, watch Jurassic Shark. It's a funny movie. There are a lot of movies like that. You've got, oh my god, there was Axe Giant. Axe Giant was pretty bad. There was a hot redhead with pierced nipples though. But aside from that, you know, the CGI is what really gets me going. Like if there's just this terrible CGI that I'm supposed to take 100% seriously, it's so funny. But yeah, that was a funny movie, and there are a lot, but that one just came to mind because I watched it around the same. I watched it at around the same time as I had watched the Jurassic Shark movie. Oh my god! It was the premise of Jurassic Shark, as I recall, was, you know, there was this bounty hunter. It was like this woman and two guys, and the acting was so bad. And there were these people who just happened to be there. You know, you had the bounty hunters who were there to do a job, and then you had another group of people who were just there. And there was this lake or something where there was a fucking megalodon, no doubt. And it just and it was eating people, like in this movie, and it just looked so bad. It looked truly terrible. It was hilarious. I seem to recall a shot of the shark coming out of the water, and you don't actually see anything, but you hear this very loud crunching sound. It was just the shark jumping out of the water, and then it's like a sound like that. It was so fun. It was about that tone as well. It was this sort of crunching sound, and it was just, and then the shark dives back into the water, and you can only see her feet, basically her feet and leg bones standing where she stood, but she had been eaten by the shark. Which obviously, you know, how would the shark jump up, bite her, and then go back into the water? It makes no sense. Particularly at the angle that the shark was shown to be going back into the water. That's the point. You know, that's the humour of such a thing. But, you know, not everyone finds that funny. Everyone has a different sort of sense of humour. I'm trying to play my music, but I'm being foolish. But yeah, that was a... Oh, fucking hell. I accidentally attacked twice because I had done an unintended aerial manoeuvre. But yeah, very funny movie. I haven't thought about that movie in a long time. I think I watched it about 8 years ago, and it was, and you know, things are coming back to me. I didn't remember that scene where the shark ate the woman, but that was pretty funny. That loud crunching sound. I used to watch these movies with the guy that I got into Dark Souls back then, and we just used to laugh our asses off. Just absolutely, like we were in tears. Because we shared the sense of humour. You know, we'd go to the video store and we'd go into that section, and then we'd find some movie with a terrible front cover, and we'd be like, "Yeah, this is a good one," and we'll go and watch it, and it's just, I do miss those times. It was good fun. You know, I mean, people probably put a lot of effort into those movies, but unfortunately they're fucking bad, because when you... It's this beautiful amalgamation of terrible acting and terrible CGI that creates something that is truly funny, because I think what it is, it's terrible acting and terrible CGI juxtaposed with a setting that is to be taken seriously. I think that's what it really is. It's just... There's this incredible contradistinction between those two things that results in laughter. It's like, this is so terribly done, but I'm supposed to take it seriously, so this is hilarious. You know, that sort of thing. But that would be the best way that I can describe the fact that it's humorous. Something that's... In other words, something that's obviously intended to be bad is not as funny. Like, that's not funny. That's kind of where these terrible copy-pasters... That's why I don't find copy-pasters and today's meme humour to be funny. It's because they're trying to replicate the unintended humour. It's funny when it's not intended. That's the point. So... yeah. And it was also funnier when people were funnier. Back when meme culture was actually a specific subculture on the internet that only attracted people who knew how to, you know, come up with really funny memes. But about 6 years ago, that all died. It's probably more than 6 years ago by now. God, it's 2021. But yeah, just thought I got onto that subject because this person had Sharknado in their fucking... or as their shouts, so that was weird. Well, there was such a time, yeah, when meme culture was cultured. I'm not talking about... When I say that, I'm not talking about the old mainstream memes, such as, you know, Jackie Chan going and, you know, the troll face and all that business. I'm talking about, you know, the old 4chan days when that shit was hilarious. where you could rock up on 4chan and there was some seriously funny shit going on. Now it's just a lot of... Every time I see a screenshot from 4chan, and it's not often these days, but it seems like it's like every single one of them are playing a character that is intended to replicate the days of old when it comes to 4chan, and it's really sad to look at. It's like they're all... Whereas before, I mean, they were all genuinely just fucked up people who had fucked up humor. It was a... You know, it was a special thing, and that died when everyone found out what 4chan was. But anyway, that's a separate story, separate matter. I wonder where Moot is these days. That's a good point. Where is Moot? What's he been up to? We used to call him Mott, because, you know, it's different. That might have only been on S4S, though. S4S, actually, was the last hurrah of 4chan, I felt. I believe that was April Fool's Day of 2013, when S4S was brought in, and then... Which is shit 4chan says. And, yeah, that was the last hurrah of 4chan, I feel. After that, she died. You people. You fucking people. I cannot do this any longer. I will not go from... it really is too much. I'm not going to go from Hyper Gold Raytheon to Atlkar to a high rank Deviant. I mean, this is just... That is literally... this. If this were like a graph to explain what that is, maybe I'm going the wrong way. No, that is correct. Yeah, I started from here, went down to here. And here, compared to where I want to be, I mean, where I want to be is off the screen, okay? This is where I ended up, and then it went down to here. I mean, seriously, who the fuck? Not me. Who the fuck? Nagakuga. Huntathon with Crabius. No. Fuck me sideways. Seriously. Pimpus. If I'm pronouncing that correctly. Face Off in the Jungle. I don't care what it is, it's better than what was just on the board. Exio can let us know when he's ready to play, because I don't think he knows. And I don't think he's even going to play at this stage, right? I don't know. Oh, it's just standard Nagakuga radio. Isn't that funny how there was a room with a person called Nagakuga, and I was like, no. And I thought in my mind that I wouldn't join, and then I joined someone else's room and there's an actual Nagakuga on the board. What are the chances? I couldn't remember what this quest was, but hopefully you can get in, Autonomic. If you can't, then I'll leave, but... yeah. I'll go Lance, I suppose. Good, you made it in. Who's waving? Are you waving at the cat? Or was his intention to wave at me as I came out of the prep area? Either way, he's got a rather nostalgic headpiece right now. It's the Doba headpiece from Tron. That's you. Well, you were damn quick to join this room, if that's you, Titan. Are you Horus in-game? That's what I'm getting from you saying me at that time. Alright, let's again look for Exchanger. See, if only more people were like you and could actually join based on the quests that are just posted in-game, because there aren't many quests in-game, you know, people are always like, oh, I don't have you added, or can you put up the room ID? I mean, the reality is that no one's playing the fucking game. You can find the room, it's not hard. Case in point, this guy joining literally 5 seconds after I've joined this room because he can follow me based on the rooms that are posted in the game. So, yeah. I don't ask for much in this world, but sometimes I feel like I do. It's a strange world we live in. A strange world I live in. Alright. Well, I'm not worried, Autonomic. That was the last time. I could possibly be concerned for you, in that you wouldn't be able to hunt with me to achieve what you wanted to achieve should you want more gold Raytheon, but as far in regards to myself, no, I'm not worried, because I'm not going to be doing it again. Not for a while. I've had enough of that fucking monster. Off we go, Pimp Ice. Ready when you are. Is the host AFK? I haven't seen him move. I don't know if he's AFK, actually. When I say I haven't seen him move, that's not to suggest that I've been watching him the whole time and haven't seen him move. I mean, like, I haven't been watching him. So, I actually don't know. All three of us are here together, so we can stand here and be reassured that no one's going to leave suddenly, because they're sick of waiting for this guy, but we'll give them about 2 minutes. He's probably in the bathroom or something. I mean, seriously, I've done that. You know, I've made... I swear to you, hand on heart, I have made a room in this game. I've posted a quest on the board. No one was in the room. Went to the bathroom, came back in 2 minutes. It was no more than 2 minutes. And an entire group had joined the room and subsequently left the room because I was AFK. Now, the community's not that bad anymore, but back when this game was pretty active, that was the community in a nutshell. They were very quick to leave. As soon as they got the slightest whiff of you being AFK, gone. Done. So... point is, this Pimp Ice guy is pretty lucky that the community isn't that way. You're right, Autonomic, but fortunately, fire is a close secondary weakness. Yeah, I should have brought Thunderlands, you're right, but fire is perfectly appropriate for a Nagakuga. Let me find out where you are. You're in area 6. That's fine. I'll take this route. It's not too much slower than what it would have ended up being had I gone from camp. Although it might not look that way. Don't go that way, yellow player. Who are you? Who's yellow player? Autonomic. Hello? Make your way to area 6. Okay. This is a really small Nagakuga. I think. I don't think I'm wrong in saying that. It looks like a really small one. Now, I think I succeeded in evading the initial frame of his attack there, which is what I was going for, but unfortunately it's one of those attacks that isn't just a 1 or 2 frame attack. It actually lasts for quite a few frames, so... sadly... well, I couldn't evade it. To be honest, I might be doing more damage with this lance than my Nagakuga lance anyway. Nagakuga lance. Kirin lance is what I meant to say. Been getting flinched by a thing or two. Cannot believe that I'm actually bouncing off those arms of his with white sharpness, but you see there are separate hit zones. He's got a separate hit zone for his hand, and then a separate one for his hand and his wings. So there you go. He's not going to last very long. That much I can say for sure. Was wanting to counter that. Can't have everything in life. About to have a corkscrew jab opportunity right in the anus. Let's go. Whoever did that. Alright. I literally got shelled while doing corkscrew jab. Fuck you, Pimp Ice. Go fuck yourself. I don't care if it's a wyvern fire that you hit me with, but just a non-charged shell? No. You can fuck right off with that one, my friend. And you can learn how to gun lance with a team, or you can put it away. Waste of space. This monster would be dead had I succeeded with the corkscrew jab. You fucking suck with gun lance, man! If you're gonna shell, I'm gonna fucking get my keyboard and plug it in. I'm gonna tell him how to use a gun lance. No, I won't do it. I couldn't be bothered. Fucking idiot. You know, it's one thing to throw a team member away from the monster if it is for a high damage attack. But a non-charged shell? Get a grip. Who would brook that crap? I don't. I will never. I can't believe it. I won't even explain it to him. I'd love to. I'd love to just absolutely lay into him, but I won't. I don't know what type of shelling that gun lance is. It's either long or normal. It's probably long. It's not a big deal. I mean, yeah, I cannot fucking handle when a person just shoots their gun lance without even charging the shell. Even charge shelling is not that impressive in terms of damage, but to not even charge the shell and just randomly shoot at the monster, probably for fun. It's like, oh, I've got a gun lance, I'm gonna shoot him with my gun lance. I mean, that's great, but not if you're hitting me in the process. Or anyone for that matter. Particularly when I'm doing a fucking corkscrew jab. Clown. What is this room anyway? Just a recruiting room. Fuck this guy. Hopefully he leaves. I'll take charge of this room. Well, Exio, you're not bringing your friend, if you don't mind, because I've got 3 people with me here. So I'll let you evaluate that. If you're happy to just be the 4th person in a group of 4, then that's fine, but if you'd rather hunt with your friend, then that's alright too. I'm just keeping you updated on the situation. This Pimp Ice guy is, I don't know what he's doing. Hopefully looking up a guide on how to use a fucking gun lance. The thing is, like, you're allowed to be inexperienced with a weapon type. You're absolutely allowed to be in that situation, but if you are clearly messing up your teammates, That's a red flag. It means that you need to change what you're doing in some way. When a person doesn't change what they're doing, when they realize that they're fucking up the team, it doesn't indicate that they're bad at the game. It indicates that they are A, stupid, B, unobservant, 3, completely bereft of common sense, 4, downright fucking inconsiderate. That's 4 things. So, there you go. Exio, are you fine with joining without your friend? Is the question that I really need you to answer. I know we haven't hunted together, but clear communication's very important. Pimp Ice is posting again. Look, I'm just going to make a room. If I've wasted my time in doing this, then so be it, but I will do it. G rank. HR minimum 13, not that it really matters. There we go. I've made the room, Exio. Just search on an HR minimum of 13 and you'll find it. It's just called G rank and it's hosted by me. But again, if you're intending on joining with your friend, it's not going to happen because... Yes, indeed. I don't know. I'm just gonna need you... I don't know what you're doing, Exio, but I'm gonna need you to be a bit more on the ball than this. Is this you? I don't know. I don't even know your in-game name. So I'm not gonna kick this guy until I've confirmed whether it's you or not. But I hope this isn't you. I hope this isn't you. Is it you? Full Nessa? Oh, he left on his own. I didn't even need to kick him. Well, it's a bit different for you. Because you... Neset's quite good for getting the specific skills you need for that kind of loadout. But for general use Blade Master, I don't like it. I mean, full Neset is somewhat passable at Hunter rank 136. Exio, I swear to God. Next person who joins this room, I'm not kicking them for you. Whose turn is it? Who last person? So we're back. Anyway. I'm creating another room. And... yeah. So... stream went down briefly. Annoying timing, but whatever. But yeah, we're back up. Just gonna refresh the fucking chat. I found that the best thing for me to do when I disconnect from OBS is to actually stop streaming and then restart streaming, because leaving OBS to reconnect on its own is just not realistic. It's never a good thing, so there you go. I won't be doing that. Fortunately, Horus went and followed me. Alright, we're all back in gear. So, Exio. What's happening? Are you ready to come and hunt? There's been a distinct lack of communication. Yeah, you're happy to post. I did say that, but I disconnected before saying that, so yeah, feel free to post, Horus, and post whatever you'd like, provided it's not Adalkar, or a Hyper Wrath monster, or a hiring deed. Anything else, I'm happy to hunt. Seriously. Cure has entered the hub. Exio can fucking hunt some other time. I'm so done. You know, nothing against Exio personally, but no one thus far has struggled to communicate what they're doing, or, you know, I need something to work with here. There is nothing more frustrating. Like, even if I'm in a good mood, this would be manifestly inadequate. But if I'm in this kind of mood, nah. I need some communication. I need to know what's going on. You said you were hunting with randoms, but you said... Well, hold on. When you say, I'd link you down for some shaggy, that means you're ready to hunt. So I need very clear communication. When you ask if I'm ready to do something, the implication is that we're doing it right now. So, you know, I need communication, or better communication at least. So, you know, I know you might not realize this, but I'm currently doing a live stream. I'm currently trying to hunt reasonably consistently. I can't be sitting around here waiting for you to come when you're not even saying anything. Well, it was only full because of lack of communication. I didn't know if it was you joining, I didn't know if you were coming, I didn't know anything. Please try to be more communicative. I'm certainly not in the mood to deal with that today, and even under normal circumstances that would be extremely frustrating. I need to be told these things. I am going to depart with Cure. You say you can tell that I'm not in the mood today, but what I would recommend that you do, Exio, is you watch this VOD back. You watch back and see how many times I've tried to touch base with you, and I've received nothing. You watch that back and you tell me how you'd feel. I don't have the fucking patience for that shit, sorry. It's unbelievable. Like, I'm trying to do a live stream here. Alright. Hold on, what is the monster? It is a Cantor. I will not be bringing a fire weapon for this. If you need to break the spikes, don't worry about it. They break very, very easily when shot at by any gun. It doesn't matter if it's Pierce or something else. I'll bring a hammer for something a little different. I'll bring the Valstrax hammer. But yeah, spikes are very easy to break. Precisely because they can't really be hit by a Blade Master, so somehow they balance it so that it's easier to break them, but I don't know. If you're a gunner... Well, how I would say that is, I don't really know if a Blade Master can possibly break the spikes. Maybe the way they do it is that if you're mounting, maybe when you mount and you're doing those mounting attacks, you can break the spikes that way. Maybe it would take 3 mounts or something like that to break them purely through the mounting attacks. But, yeah, that might be the reason why they're so easy to break. The point is that if you're gunning, you don't have to worry about not breaking them. See, that big hand coming down is something to avoid. I'm trying to get in position to hit that head. Okay. I'm skirting around the lava here, but the point of this is that even if you don't have... that's the problem with that. When the head comes down, it can hit you. It shouldn't do that. It doesn't come down with any considerable force, but it still hits you. But the point is that even with raw resistance, you do have to deal with the fact that the raw itself can hurt you. So if you're too close to that, then it doesn't matter if you've got earplugs or not. Sorry if I hit you, Kill. Don't think I did, no. Just as well. That's a bit awkward. The whole team got hit by that one. It did come out of nowhere, really. I'll have to nullberry that. Hopefully other people have nullberries. Although I think everyone, except for me, is going raw damage. Or going with raw damage. Oops. That is awkward when you're going about your business with defense down, might I add. And he spawns on top of you, basically. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. I basically walked into it. I was underneath his face. I was actually underneath his chin. And I managed to walk straight into that. That is actually ridiculous. I've never done something that foolish before. I knew there's the risk of that, but I was pretty confident that I wasn't actually going to be hit by it. Based on how I positioned myself, I should have had rations rather than a Mega Dash juice. That was a bit dumb. Anyway, chasing this head has been a bit annoying. This has not been a good Cantor fight for aiming for the head. I haven't really contributed anything to this hunt, in fact. Get ready for a golf swing to the face here, unless no, I'm out of position for that. No, I couldn't move fast enough to get out of the way of that. This entire hunt has not worked. It really hasn't. It's one of those days, man. This has been I mean, let me tell you, this has been a fucking shit recording. Like, this has been a completely shit recording. I nearly threw my controller straight into my laptop monitor. I nearly threw it straight on. I don't even know what that is, Simone. If you're willing to explain that to me, I can offer an opinion on it, but I've never heard of that, and I couldn't possibly imagine what it is, so. Yeah, this recording has been a total shit show, from start to finish. Although it hasn't finished yet, but it's been pretty fucking terrible. The Old Gen project is an Italian project to remaster Freedom Unite. And hello to you as well. Hello, Potato. Remaster Freedom Unite. What's my opinion on that? I can't offer an opinion on the project itself because I don't know the level of professionalism going into it. But What I can say is that I don't have any desire to play a remastered Freedom Unite that's fan-made. No desire. Because what I would imagine that would be is ultimately, you know, building on the assets of the PSP game. And I'm perfectly content with just playing the PSP game, quite frankly. If Capcom were to do a remastered Freedom Unite, that'd be pretty cool. I'd be quite willing to play that, I think. I'd be worried that they'd fuck it up, quite frankly, but... as far as a fan remaster of Freedom Unite, no, I started playing... that was my first Monster Hunter game. I played that when it came out. I'm very comfortable with the game and how it looks and plays, so I have no need for a remaster. And, you know, I'm not going to say they shouldn't remaster it, but I don't care for such a thing. I have no need for it. Thank you for the gifted sub. I don't know if you could really call... Well, was the iOS Freedom Unite so different from the original that you could call it a remaster? I guess it was a graphical improvement, but I don't think anything else was improved, was it? Okay, it looked better, but I don't think that's true at all, you have to understand. The PSP... You need to realise, Potato, that the PSP didn't look that good. Like, games running on the PSP were not that attractive. So... yeah, I don't think they remastered the game. I think purely the fact that they put the game onto mobile devices, well, I suppose Apple mobile devices specifically, made the game look better. I don't think they actually did anything with it. Anyway. And hello, Tron. You're running out of huskberries? Don't worry about it, you can buy them in the shop. They're very cheap. Bone husks? Bit of a different matter. But as far as huskberries are concerned, you can just buy them. You have no need to worry about running out of them, in other words. Yeah, that fan-run try-server will definitely... Well, I shouldn't say anything's definite, but... that should be finished sometime soon, if it hasn't been finished already. Let's try this again. I was really unimpressed with that previous attempt. It was fucking awful. Absolutely fucking awful. Much like this recording. So I need to avoid the head going down, because that hurts. I mean, look how gentle it is. It shouldn't be something that can hit you and send you flying. I understand that he's a big monster, so him lowering his head would hurt if it were to touch you, but why do they choose to take the realistic route with that particular movement of the monster? There are so many other things that monsters do that could hurt you. Admittedly, the lava bursts are not as annoying here as they were in the older games. I'm pretty sure he is Tron. I'm sure he cycles through his viewership quite consistently. Because once you reach a certain age, you realise, wow, I think I have a higher standard of entertainment than this. In other words, you know, he'll keep on having new generations of viewers. He's obviously done something right, but... anyway. I hate chasing this head. It's very dangerous to hammer an Acantor, of course, because his head is a dangerous place to be. Unless he's down, but I don't really want to aim for anything else. I could aim for the legs, and then only hit his head when he's down, such as this right here, but... It's also worth mentioning my defense with this set is truly terrible. It's not good defense at all. That doesn't excuse my deaths up until this point, but... Yeah, 726 defense, pretty bad. Come on, you fucker. Go for another upswing. Wouldn't mind a knockout soon. I would be quite grateful for that. I got the knockdown on the super pound, but it wasn't on the heads. Bit awkward. Of course, when you're aiming for the head, you also have to deal with getting hit every time he wants to dig, which is very annoying. See, I can't hit his head from there. At least I have Spinning Meteor charged up, so I'll be able to use that next time. Next time I have a head opportunity, that is to say. This does not constitute a head opportunity, by the way. I'm mostly talking about a knockdown. I have defense down right now, which is terrible. Can you imagine defense down when you've already got terrible defense? Can you? I'm literally going to be killed by him moving around. He's turning on the spot and he's killing me. My defense right now is 363, if you can fucking believe that. There is nothing incredible on the PSP. I mean, visually speaking and in terms of how it felt to play, there is no incredible game on the PSP. It was a portable experience, and portable experiences have always been less than what they could be. So, portable was a compromise until the Nintendo Switch. It's that recent. Until the Nintendo Switch, you were compromising on portable games. So, yeah, I mean, if it was good for you, then fair enough, but... No way, screams Tron. Hello? I'm telling you, portable games have looked and felt shit forever. Let me rephrase that. 3D portable games have looked and felt like shit forever. At least until the Switch came out. Oh, the Switch sucks. The Switch physically sucks as a console, yes. But as a portable console, it's pretty good. I mean, what are you when you say the Switch sucks, are you comparing it to the 3DS? What are you comparing it to? If you're comparing it to stationary consoles, then you're making a mistake. I've made the same mistake. But if you're comparing it to handheld consoles, it's the best one ever made. That's not, you know, of course I'm not referring to emulators, like handheld emulation consoles. That's not part of the discussion, but in terms of official consoles released by, you know, let's say Nintendo and Sony, for example, the Switch would be the best. Although, no, excuse me, the Vita would be better than the Switch, yeah. I hadn't considered the Vita, actually. Not that it's been mentioned yet. But... Hello, Jenny. Are you telling me that there's no music player or web browser on the Switch? Are you sure? What? Well, look, I wouldn't know something like that because I really would not imagine a use case scenario in the era of smartphones being, you know, almost a human right in terms of ownership. I can't imagine a situation where you would need to browse the web on a Switch, okay? Like, you'll browse the web on the go. I've got a phone, thank you. I'm not saying that's an excuse for why, or an excuse for the Switch not having a web browser. I'm just saying that that's why I didn't know until now. I've never had a need. I've really never had a need. No, you don't watch porn on a Switch. Are you kidding me? No. Why? No. That's stupid. Anyway, point is, I don't know why you would need to browse the web on a Switch. Everyone's got a phone. Look at the entirety of Southeast Asia. Those people have phones instead of computers, for fuck's sake. So, yeah. And it's probably not just Southeast Asia, it's probably a lot of other parts of the world, quite frankly. You know, everyone can afford a fucking smartphone, but not a computer, so... Point is, everyone can browse the web on the go. That's not a novelty. That's not something that you need a Switch to do. Which again is not to excuse the fact that the Switch doesn't have it, it's rather to suggest that maybe that's the reason why it doesn't, and second of all, that should offer some context as to why I haven't even attempted to browse the web. 0 thick spikes, that's terrible. You'd have to put your Switch somewhere and get out your phone. What, like on your lap? Oh, where do I put my Switch? It's so big. I mean, it's, well, I suppose it's bigger than your average handheld console, but you know, you put it on your lap. Phone. You've probably already got, you know, your web browser up on your phone, quite frankly. And you put that shit in. I don't know. Rust Razor EX is what Cure has posted. Who says it's your turn anyway? Who fucking said it was your turn, mate? Whatever. He assumes that it goes in descending order. But, anyway. Rust Razor EX. What a day. What a day to be alive. As if I want to do Rust Razor EX. You think I would fucking volunteer to do that? You really think that I'd sit here one day and go, oh, what do I want to do today? Oh, I'll hunt a Rust Razor EX. I think not. I think I'd have a problem if I thought that was a good idea. But no, this fucking person wants to do it, apparently. Just the fucking background noise. Do excuse that. I do live on a construction site, in case you didn't know. That's what happens when you live on a construction site. It is truly lovely when you're trying to record something. This has been a fucking bomb of a live stream, quite frankly. What is Horus using? That. Which is... okay. Whatever works, man. If that's the best you can do, then... very well. But yeah, I don't want to do this quest at all. There is not even the slightest desire in my mind, or in my heart, to do this quest, but here I am. I'm not worried about the armor set, Horus, I'm worried about the sword. It's not even doing 300 raw damage. Again, the phrase Bob the Builder returns, Jenny, implies that he was ever gone. He's always here. It's like I'm married to the fucking guy. Where's my phone vibrating about? What the fuck do you want? Nothing of importance, I'm sure. Yeah, exactly. We need to archive all of Bob the Builder's interruptions? I don't think so. I don't know who wants that. Have there been calls for that? My phone keeps vibrating. I'm gonna throw it in the fucking bin if it keeps doing that. No, I think I want my phone actually. I don't think I'll throw it away. Oh no. Sam is online. Apparently. Ready to play Monster Hunter Rise, no doubt. Or perhaps not. There goes Autonomic. I should sit down with Bob and smack him across the fucking head. That's what I should do. That would be a much more constructive thing to do. Phone. Fuck off. Alright. I'm not in the mood today. Almost every quest that's been posted on the board, almost every one, has been a waste of my fucking time. Shut up. Some days just do not work in your favour. This is one of those days. This has been a terrible day for me so far. Oh dear. I'm trying to get his face, although it might be hard to imagine that, because I haven't been too successful in hitting his face. It could be worse, I could be French. I suppose so. See, I don't want to hit that arm. That arm's sort of protecting his face here. Oh, that was disturbingly close to hitting me. Couldn't have been much closer than that without hitting me, quite frankly. Pardon, indeed. Are you fucking kidding me? I did press the B button to evade, although you might struggle to imagine me having done that. But I did do that. Doomlink always blaming the game. That's right. It is mostly the game's fucking fault. To be frank with you. Alright, Pierce time. Cure is almost dead for a second time. Don't know what. Okay, you're doing that shit, are you? I was ready to evade, but fortunately I was out of range anyway. Just as well, huh? Just as well. I do love that Cyanator just wants a hug. His moveset is predicated on him just wanting a hug. That is Cyanator. Like when he runs towards you with his arms outstretched, he just wants a fucking hug. He doesn't know how to do it without hurting you though. That's his problem. Sometimes he'll stand still and try to hug you like that, and other times he'll run towards you with his arms outstretched. It's just how it is. He doesn't know how to hug gently. He's an aggressive affectionist. I don't think there is such a thing as an affectionist, but I've created the word today. I don't even know who Jammers is, quite frankly. It's someone. Maybe it's... Who is that? Might be one of you, I don't know. Oh, good paralysis, although... I suppose timing could have been slightly better. Oh, who the... Oh, that was Horace flinching me with his round force. Well, can't really blame him for that. The range is pretty crazy. I was still stuck in the reload animation, if you could believe that. There is actually a full frame that must take place where I'm standing still before I can do anything after reloading. I don't know why, but whatever. It's a bit sad. Don't know what you're doing up here, Horace. There's not much you can do there, unless you're going for mount damage, which is fair. Mount build up, rather. I do have Bullet Geyser at the ready if it feels necessary to use it. Kyo, come on! You should have seen that coming from space! You were standing in the way of that for a full 5 fucking seconds before he did that attack. And you still got hit by it. I mean, that wasn't telegraphed. That, like, he basically gave you a written diagram of what he was about to do to you, for fuck's sake. I can't believe what I just saw. I mean, I understand if you're in the middle of doing something. I don't know. All Kyo was doing was walking towards him right in line with that attack that he was charging up, and he got hit by it. I mean, who would have thought? See, now that is something that you can get hit by suddenly. That's different, because that is not telegraphed at all. He just randomly shoots it at you. Had I been hit by that, that would have been totally different. But the previous scenario where Kyo just got killed, very different. And very sad. I couldn't think of something more embarrassing to happen, quite frankly. I'm glad it was worth it, Exio. I'm a bit worried now. I think we've got one more feint left. Yeah. Next person to die fails the hunt for us. So let's be nice and fucking careful. Alright. Sub 10. Not too bad. Although Kyo's performance left a lot to be desired. I don't know how long I've been live streaming for, actually. That's one of the downsides to actually stopping the OBS stream and then starting it again. I can't actually see how long I've been live in total for. I have to go and check the previous VOD. Oh goodness. Oh, okay. I'm over 2 hours now, but I'll continue just a little bit more. I don't know for how much longer, but... I mean, that could be a positive note. I was going to say I'd like to end on a positive note, but this is positive. It might not get better than this. This might be the peak of this live stream. Anyway. I'll need to take some kind of medicament after this. I've had a very stressful experience in this live stream. Every little thing, I mean, I have to tell you, I live life in a very relaxed fashion. I just sort of sit there and let whatever happens happen, and then I react accordingly. Like, I'm not some days moody, some days not. I let whatever needs to happen, and then my mood changes depending on the shit that's thrown at me. Today, you know, there's been someone with an excrement machine firing excrement shells at me from a long distance. It's You know, they've been dropping on my head, basically. Over and over and over again. And I'm getting sick of them. Not much has gone my way. That quest went my way. Cure hosted the quest, died twice. We basically did it for him and he's gone. No, not even a word of thank you, quite frankly. I would thank the team after that one. But that's alright. We're just a group that he'll never see again, probably. Just as well. You can post autonomic. And then Horace can post, and then... Yeah. Exio can join... Oh, never mind. Exio could have joined, but... No. He probably can't right now anyway. He's busy hunting with randoms. Econo War. I suppose I have to do 3 quests then. I'll see your fashion set at some point in the future. Today's not the day. What's going on with you? Checking out my set. You've got a very nice set, sir. It's one of the nicest sets I've seen in this game. That's beautiful. It is an absolutely... That is a perfect elemental sword and shield set. Absolutely delightful. I mean, look at that thing. Look at that. It's refreshing to see someone with a perfect armor set at your hunter rank, Econo War, because, quite frankly, there are plenty of people who reach your hunter rank and are still kicking around with an Nesset armor set. Oh, well, I may as well just use Nesset. Fuck me. Like, how clean is that? As clean as a whistle. My only concern... Well, I guess Weakness Exploit is giving him the affinity that Elemental Crit can work with, but maybe that weapon starts with a bit of affinity, I don't know. Ideally, yes. I wouldn't use Elemental Crit unless I had a weapon that had starting affinity, that's what I would say. Because you're not always going to be hitting weak points when you have Weakness Exploit. That's the idea. Was that Kezu on the board? I think it was. If it was, then that's great. You know, that's a monster I don't usually hunt. I'm not a huge Kezu fan, but I'll hunt a few Kezu, I'll tell you what, because I feel like I never hunt him. I'm spending my days hunting Atalkar and a Cantor, like, all the time. Does Chaos Oil give additional... yeah. Chaos Oil must give additional affinity because it would include Affinity Oil, that's true. Well, that makes sense. I hadn't thought about that. It's a good point. Alright. I don't know if I want to use dual blades, but I'll do it. Actually, here I go again. I don't want to use my gold and silver dual blades, so I'll use my dual Kutkus. Which is not what they're called dual Kutkus, but I'm not so profoundly retarded that I feel it necessary to say Kutku twice. No, the funny thing is that Atalkar was interesting at first. But there's something about the fight I don't care about. I find Jen Moran to be a better fight than Atalkar. I just don't like him. I think he's very gimmicky and he's not all that interesting. He would have been a much more interesting monster had he just retained his Mantis form, like just the Mantis itself. Because the point is that we don't have many Carapacian monsters in the series to fight. But it's not like... It doesn't feel like you're fighting a Carapacian, it feels like you're fighting a fucking mech. It's stupid. It's like a mecha, like a big robot thing. It's like a junk heap. It's stupid, like I don't want that. I'd rather a decent Carapacian fight. You know, it was their opportunity to make, you know, a modern day Shen Gaoden, but instead we got a big junkyard fucking monster, which is interesting in concept, but I don't find it all that fun. It's very bright. I'm very bright right now. I need to lower the brightness of my room light. That should be a bit more appropriate. Fairly good. Yeah, and of course, I've said many times before that if they were to bring back Lao Shanlung, which they did, they should have done so with the intention of actually having Lao fight us. But no, they just had the same siege fight from 1st and 2nd gen. Why? There's a moving cannon now. There's a cannon on rails. It's more fun. No, it's not. Sorry. It's boring. It's a terrible fight. Have Lao Shanlong actually try to attack us. Not in that area. I don't want that area even. Someone's going to say, oh, well, do you really want to fight Lao Shanlong properly in that area? Of course not. I'm not stupid. Of course you'd have an actual proper map. I'm always imagining some guy who hasn't thought anything out at all is going to rebut my comments. Like, oh, you're not going to fight him in that location? Of course not. Why would you want to? My point is that it shouldn't have been a siege hunt in the first place when it was brought here into this game. If you're going to bring back Lao Shanlong, have it be a real hunt. Ow. But yeah, what a waste of time, Lao Shanlong. Terrible fun. But again, there are people in this world who prefer Lao Shanlong to Gen Moran, if you can believe that. And I'm not talking Generations Ultimate Lao Shanlong, I'm talking 1st gen Lao Shanlong. Some people prefer it. How they could possibly, I couldn't even begin to understand, but there are all types of people in this world. And if logic governed the world in which we lived, we'd be probably living in a better world. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. What I mean to say is that, no, that would be misunderstood. That would almost suggest that a world ruled by left-brain ideology would be better. That's not what I was trying to get across. I was trying to say that if people were more... Okay, if people weren't stupid, we'd be living in a better world. How about that? I'll say that without equivocation. There's no need for it. Dalamadura is another hunt that gets boring. I like Dalamadura in concept, but... oh. I'm telling you, if you need Dalamadura stuff and you need to fight maybe 4 or 5 Dalamadura consecutively, oh my god. It's fucking boring. It's awful. Just terrible. But yeah, he's fun. Speaking of Sam, actually, last time I hunted with him in 4 Ultimate, he needed Shah Dalamadura, and I'm just... you know, I was less than incentivized to play with him because all he wanted to do was hunt Shah Dalamadura. It's not fun. Not at all. The last person I want to hear that from is Tommy Wiseau. Quite frankly. I can live without that. Ow. Oh, hi, Mark. Loving that background noise. That's fucking brilliant. It gets better and better. I mean, it's different every day, honestly. One thing that I can give Bob kudos for is that he tries to, you know, change it up a bit. He's always looking for different ways to create background noise to interrupt my recordings. Excuse me. I mean, how am I supposed to live with this shit, man? Just sell your house and go live in a fucking apartment. Do everyone a fucking favour, you dick. Anyway. I got some glossy hide, or gloss hide. Ew. Imagine calling it gloss hide. Can you imagine? Yes, as Exio says. I don't know if any of you watched the... Did you know there's a second The Room? I didn't find out until about 3 years ago. I watched it with some friends. I mean, and Tommy Wiseau was absolutely drunk off his ass in the recording of that, or in the filming of that. It was pretty funny. We do not talk about it. Well, come on. But yeah, I didn't know about it. I genuinely didn't know that there was a second one. When was the first one? Like 2002 or something like that? I think the second one was... I don't even know when it came out. Might have been about 10 years later. But... yeah, that... the second one was pretty bad. I seem to recall Tommy Wiseau trying to climb the stairs up into the attic, and because he was so drunk, he just couldn't get up there. I mean, he could get up there, but it was clearly quite a journey. He was clearly drunk. It was great. In that sense, but not a great movie. There is an old 1940s style cinema close to where I live that has annual screenings of The Room, which is pretty great. It's called the Hayden Orpheum. It's a very nice cinema. And I believe there are a number of them. But, yeah. It's very nice. Oh, sorry, I'm probably supposed to be coordinating this in some way. Who posted that quiz? That was autonomic. Oh, I see. Horace knows what's going on. He's... oh, look who it is. Look who it is. Oh, that's right. Horace wasn't able to get spikes last time. Which is pretty rare, I will mention. There's a pretty high chance of getting spikes, so... I'm sorry to hear that you were unsuccessful. There's no need to inform us of the fact that you're changing equipment, Econowar. There you go. It's probably Econovar. Econova! Or something like that. But yeah, I'm also changing equipment, so don't worry about it. I will bring Hunting Horn. Dragon Hunting Horn, in fact. If you need hyper flare scales, I think... the quest that I seem to remember doing for hyper flare scales was hyper standard Rathalos. Standard hyper Rathalos I can do all day. Fun quest. Hyper silver Rathalos, eat my ass. Seriously. No time for that. But yeah, I think you can also get hyper flare scales from hyper Lavazioth. Don't do that. I think Glavenus as well, yeah. I think the best drop chances are from Lavazioth, if I can remember correctly. And hyper Lavazioth. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. You also need hyper silver Rathalos parts. Everyone does. But I'm not going to be of much help. Because I'm not doing that quest, sorry. Oh, look at this lovely armor set that he's got. I know exactly what his skills are. I couldn't list them, but... basically, those are all XR pieces, basically. He's got a mix of... Silver Rathalos and Ashurian XR with the Crimson Head. Crimson Fatalis headpiece. In other words, what I mean is I don't know what the skills are exactly, but I know that they're good skills and I know that's a well done set. I like this Econowar guy. I am so praiseworthy of him, or I find him to be so praiseworthy for the reason that this community is so inept when it comes to building armor sets. It is very sad that in a game where there are more options than ever before when it comes to armor pieces, you are less likely to find different armor sets, but that's what it is. So when I see a person who's just got really nice armor sets, it's a absolute pleasure to the eyes. I love seeing it. Unfortunately, well, actually I was expecting to get hit there, because Economic War was flinching me in place. Here I am getting hit again because I'm aiming for the head. I should be able to make it without being at risk of... Oh no, he's repositioned himself. Oh, unidirectional beam. Rightio. As you do. And now for defense up. Now whether or not a defense up song can actually mitigate the effects of defense down, I couldn't say for sure. Please don't interrupt my encore, thank you. There goes autonomic. No, you don't, buddy. Oh. Are those spikes broken? They look broken. Yeah, they're broken. They break so quickly. They really do. It's something like 10 pierce shots and they're done. Probably not even, quite frankly. If it looks like you can't see anything, we're in the same boat, believe me. I can't fucking see anything either. Or I couldn't at that time. Hey, Blue Barn. Yeah, Blue Barn, I think that, well, of course, using an Adamant Seed, Armor Skin, Mega Armor Skin, etc. will work in that way. Second time I've done that now. Fucking hell, man. Walking straight into the attack, wanting to attack. I mean, you run the risk of that when you choose to attack the head when he's doing that, but come on. I don't know. I can't really excuse myself after that, but yeah, I wasn't entirely sure if a song could do that. Yeah, anything that's the thing, like I wasn't sure if a buff from a hunting horn could act in the same way. I wasn't entirely sure. Of course, armor horns work as well. But realistically, if an armor horn would work, then a hunting horn song should work. I'm not going to do that. But having said that, I still can't clear it. That tail is too fucking big. Bloody hell. So I have to go and play the attack song all over again and then... Oh god. He's not doing the beam, so I'm alright. I've got my priorities here. He is doing the beam, just not on me. You'd think I was playing Freedom Unite. Just staying away from the monster and playing music. I'll attack the tail, seeing as though that's what's in front of me. He will be doing the beam again here. And it is the sweeping one. I'm trying to get his head. I need to play self-improvement here. He has managed to go to the opposite corner of the fucking map. Cantor, I'm going to ask you a question. You're under no obligation to answer, but I'm going to request that you make some attempt. Do you really think we want to chase you across the entirety of the fucking map? We really don't want to, so if you could abstain, that would be greatly appreciated. Seriously. Anyway. What a dick. That's funny. I can move about as fast as Horus can. That's what I was really comparing, though. I'm not expecting a KO, by the way. In case you were wondering, that's not really an objective. I'm just hitting the face because, you know, impact damage is good on the face. What can I say? And you know, I might not be the only one dealing KO damage. Echo of War could possibly do that. On the face. Still haven't managed to get Sonic Smash built up, which is pretty bad. Depends on what you're looking for, Exio. There are... Most of what people use in this game are heavy bowguns that can't shoot Pierce level 3. What I personally use is the Crimson Fatalis heavy bowgun with recoil down +1 and Pierce level 3. That's what I've used since 4 Ultimate. And I guess you can use that in 1st and 2nd gen as well, if you are so inclined. But yeah, I have a specific way in which I pierce gun. It's different to what most people do. I choose to neither use Valor nor standard crouch shot. I shoot normally while using Evade Extender. So basically, if you choose to play like I do, which is guild style Evade Extender non-crouch, I would say Crimson Fatalis heavy bowgun with recoil down +1 is the way to go. I can't make a decision on what is most comfortable for you, but I can tell you what I'm doing, and you can choose whether or not to do that. Generally, I don't make recommendations to people in Monster. I make recommendations in terms of style of play, but not in terms of what people physically use, because I think that that's an evaluative matter that every person must undertake, or every person must endeavour to evaluate for themselves what they should or shouldn't use. I think that's part of the Monster Hunter experience. I don't like people who... Well, I'm not going to say that I don't personally like them, but I don't agree with the mindset of, I'm going to go to someone else and just be told what to use. I think that the Monster Hunter experience is to figure out for yourself what you think is effective. I think as long as you're aiming to deal decent damage, you'll do fine. It's the people who don't care what they're doing. You know, they'll just equip anything that are probably in need of improving their strategy. Dealing the best possible damage isn't a requirement of Monster Hunter, but dealing appropriate damage is, I feel, because, you know, it is a team-based game. You want to contribute to the team. But, yeah, I think that you could also say that it's part of the experience for the community to have input on what you do, but in my opinion, and I always say this, I always encourage people to make their own decisions, I think that it's better when people decide for themselves what they should use. Gravios Heavy Bowgun is not a hidden gem, Blue Barn. Gravios Heavy Bowgun was used in 4 Ultimate as basically the standard Pierce Bowgun. In fact, if you didn't use Gravios Heavy Bowgun, a lot of people removed you from the room if you were doing, you know, the higher level quests. I was in the position where I was being removed from level 140 guild quest rooms for not using the Gravios Heavy Bowgun, even though their damage output was sitting at about 560, and mine was sitting at over 700. Purely because I wasn't using the standard heavy bowgun of choice for peers, they assumed that I wasn't going to contribute, and yet my damage output was far beyond theirs. And I was shooting without recoil. Yes, I did have to reload, I wasn't crouch firing, but my damage output was very high. So, you know, that's an example of people being so blinded by their perception of the meta that they wouldn't even want an alternative interpretation of what's good or what's meta or whatever. So, but yeah, Gravios Heavy Bowgun was what was primarily used in For Ultimate in the community. I very rarely saw people use Crimson Fatalis Heavy Bowgun, and yeah, didn't really see much else outside of those two things. But anyway, hello Juvenator. 2 out of 4 thick sparks. Yeah, P4. And I will go to the bathroom. Player 4's quest will be my last quest, by the way. I'll be back in a moment. I'm back. Did you post a recent picture on Discord, Juvenator? No, you're referring to the... whatever that is. I don't know what that is. There's a reason why no one reacted to it, Juvenator, and that's because we don't really know what we're looking at, clearly. Or it wasn't funny, one of the two. Oh look, Seeking the Seeking. One of the hardest... oh no, never mind, I thought it was the arena one for a moment. That one's the... what's it called again? Can't remember the name of it now. Anyway, something to do with a fan club or something like that? I don't know. Anyway, I'll go in Sick Glaive. It's a bit different to what I'm used to, I suppose. It's a Bloodborne reference, radio. That's basically correct, Juvenator. We all saw the picture, clearly, I mean... but, yeah. The lack of reaction should speak for itself. I do apologise for taking so much time. What's going on with you? Let's do this, says Ekanawar. My dear friend. No comment that you make is going to make this any faster. You know, I can't very well, some people might. No, I'm not even going to go there. It's going to be rather crude. Chose not to. Chose not to be. To be or not to be. Oh, you can spin on the spot as much as you want, mate. I exhaled air out of my nose, if that makes you feel better, Juvenile. Wow. I think that speaks for all of us. And orange. Come on. You take so long to do that attack, man. I've got things to do, like hit you. Just off target there. This is a fairly small laggy, actually. Look at him. He's a baby. He's a little baby. I was pushed off target there. I don't know if you saw that. Whoa! Did you see that? There was actually a loss of connection there. Just briefly. Because Laggy was doing one thing and then was suddenly doing something else. Whoa, what is going on with this host? Ekanawar, if this is what you've been putting up with this whole time, you've definitely put up with a lot. I'm trying to comprehend what you've written, Juvenator. Well, that's correct, for the most part, Juvenator, yeah. Not so much the easily avoidable part, more like the concern is not that the attacks are more easily avoidable if they're slow, has more to do with the fact that you're stuck in one place for longer. That's the balancing aspect. Usually you'll be able to make contact with the enemy with a slower attack. With slower attacks comes longer animations, more commitment, and therefore more vulnerability. So, aside from that, you're basically right. I'm surprised that these oh, never mind, I topped it up myself. That's what I was about to say. I'm surprised these 3 colours have lasted so long, and then I realised, actually, I hadn't done 2. I'd organised 2 for myself. Haven't done a mount attack yet. Don't know if I ever will. No, I probably should. Let's go for a mount while I've still got this. Thank you for the life powder. Saves me from... There you go. Saves me from healing myself. I will have to sharpen up fairly soon. Oh, come on, man. Don't flinch me away, or knock me away, when I'm about to finish my lovely combo. I think this is the first time I've seen Doom without the jacket. Well, what that means, Beans, is that you haven't seen me during the summer months yet. It's not, you know, summer here, but it's a warmer day today, so... Can't very well... Oh, whoops. I will use extract on that. But yeah, I can't very well wear the jacket. It's hot. I'm going to be sitting here sweating. Well, I think... Oh no, I didn't get hit by that, fortunately. Actually, I think this is about the 6th or 7th time you've used the word homie today. Possibly allergic to the word friend? Possibly allergic. We've got mate, buddy, friend, associate. No, associate is not very into it. Associate. There are a lot of words one could use. Homie is apparently Latino, as I've been informed. Rightio. You learn something new every day. That must be why the Americans picked up on that. That's their idea of culture. Hispanic culture. It's about as far as they go outside their bubble. Oh. When they're not going to the Chinese restaurant, anyway. Oh. I think you've noticed, but the connection here has not been great. Oh, fuck. I don't even want to talk about what just happened there. My first English word was cunt. I used to call my cousins that word all the time. Wow. What a word. What a word to start with. Yeah, when it comes to Spanish, of course, I learn all the bad... Not all the bad words. I had 2 Colombian co-workers. We used to just... You know, we always called each other marica and all of that. Which was not meant in the negative sense, but rather the sort of, you know... crude mate sort of thing. But, well, I was told that it more or less meant gay. That was their idea of coming up with an equivalent. Yeah, and you also had hueputa and all of that. And the Colombians also use gonorrhea as a bad term, which I find quite funny, that they something annoying will happen and they'll go gonorrhea. I find that to be hilarious, but I think that's specifically Colombian. Yeah, so we always called each other marica and all of that. Which was good. Anyway, relatively painless hunt, except for the fact that the connection was a bit fucked up. Normally I wouldn't have the boom stand so terribly visible here, but that's good enough, isn't it? Yeah. Wouldn't you reckon, mate? Every time. Always see the ocean peroxine there. And I'm like, ooh, another mantle. Not quite. Not quite. Oh, anyway, yeah, I do thank you all for watching. I think that's going to conclude my recording today. I might do another one later on in the day. We will see. If I do another one later on in the day, I will be accompanied by beer. But I might not be in the mood. We will see. I will see you when I see you regardless, and I thank you all for watching. I'll bid you all farewell. Bye-bye for now.